Hello, this is Gary from Norwich Retro Gamers, and welcome to another one of my Commodore PET gameplay videos. These will be recorded on a real PET, Commodore PET Series 3016, which is our 16K version. And yeah, so this is me playing the games on a real PET, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. So sit back and watch me play these games. Okay, so this one's called Bat. You may notice that a lot of these games have a cursor and then a number against them. Cursor was I believe it was a PET magazine. I don't think it was anything other. I think it was purely for the PET, released in America back in the late 70s. Probably, I'm not sure if it was anything to do with Commodore or whether it was just some sort of third party. There's pretty good games released via Cursor. Anyway, let's give it a go. So okay, yeah, so it's 846 2. Yeah, so that's fair enough. Yeah, obviously the keys get in the way. Well, yeah. No, we wouldn't. There must have been some soundboard for this, but I don't have it. Given how temperamental this machine is, I'm not sure if I'd even want to get one. Would be pretty cool though. But anyway, let's play Bat. So on the little, which I suppose could be a bat. It's kind of got wings. Don't want to start badly by. Don't really want to start by losing half my energy. That's handy. The elephant bug was a big one, wasn't it? Oh, I managed to miss all of them. A bit like my skill report, must do better. Or could do better. Hey, here we go. And what you notice as you go on is that the amount of asterisks appear increases, and obviously they're the ones that will take away half your calories. So I'm actually doing quite good at the moment, but I'm going to regret saying that, I think. Oops. Actually, at the moment I seem to be missing everything, but my calories are looking healthy. Okay, so this one's called a Dam Buster, and it's a fun little sort of shooty type game. I'll play the game so you can see it. It's I don't remember what the controls. Oh right, okay. Right, so basically you're the Dam Buster, and space drops a bomb, and you have to try not to get shot. Now, unfortunately, if I remember rightly, you don't actually have any control over the plane. In fact, any key actually drops the bomb. It's quite difficult, if I'm honest with you, because the game decides which your speed and height. All you've really got is the option to drop a bomb, and to be honest with you, the guns are quite accurate. So yeah, chances of getting over it without being shot down are quite slim. Or maybe just decided to shoot me a lot in the first game. But another thing you need to try and do is you need to try and drop your bomb before you get into its flight path, just in case you can't shoot the gun either, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, it's kind of quite mean, really. You get a random amount of shots in, I think, before it decides to shoot you down. Trying to get as high up as I can where the dam is the narrowest. But I keep chickening out because I'm worried that I'm going to get shot down before I release my bomb. I mean, it's a fun little game. It can get quite frustrating when you constantly, you've got no control over when you're getting shot. Kind of building a bit of a gap there, but that's not where I wanted to go really. Oh, I thought he was going to get me then. Oh, I don't know, that might actually work there. Oh, I wonder if that'll work. Oh, a bit too high. Yay! Okay. That's I've played this 4 or 5 times, and I'm honest with you, that's the only time I've actually managed to get through it. Okay, so this one's called Debris. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Now, I like this game because it's quite difficult, but the idea being it's like a reverse breakout really. I'm controlling the small bat at the top of the screen, and the computer is firing missiles at my wall, and the idea is to defend it. The only problem is sometimes like that one there, I'm not sure how I would get to that in time, if I'm honest with you. I don't know if this was designed to be used on something else other than the keyboard, but if I'm honest with you, the ability to position yourself across the screen quick enough is, to me anyway, impossible. Even if I hold my key, the finger down the key, I mean that was a bit silly, but you know, even going at full pelt doesn't help. You know, I can't make it. It doesn't help that I overshoot or don't quite get there on time with the ones that are close to me, but yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It's a good idea. I love the idea, but I'm just not sure about the ability to control it that well. Obviously, it's already opened up a few gaps. As you can see, if I do manage to deflect one, I actually get a wall back. Ooh. That was close. So this one's called Demon, and as you can read from the instructions, the idea is to capture the demons one at a time before the spell runs out. So it's basically just a timer. I've played this once before and it wasn't too bad, but yeah, let's give it a go and let's see how we play. Thankfully, it's just a numeric keypad. So I was looking at space, and that's just to end the game. So we're not going to end the game. Yeah. So I'm the circle, and the demon is the hollow 0, which returns into a block when I've stopped him. So anyway, let's go. Dual Atari joystick interface. Interesting, but unfortunately, no. We will play a medium game. And here we go. Right, so I think I'm at the bottom, and the demon is... Oh, yeah, so it's basically just like a game of chase. Ooh. Oops. Tricky. Oh, hit the wrong key. That's maybe why I'm not moving. What? Come on. You see, I'm doing really well here, aren't I? Feeling when I get, I'm just going to walk into him by accident. Seems to be a little bit of a... Oh, there we go. Hey, got one. Yay. Oh. Yay, 2. God, I'm on a roll. maybe I shouldn't. I think what I'm doing, which is not helping, is I keep my finger on the key, and that's kind of causing a bit of a buffer. So I'll keep going in one direction when I really want to stop. That's not. Oh. Not sure how long I've got left, but I guess that's probably it. 5 demons. There we go. Okay, so here we have Dungeon, which wasn't originally on my list, but I seem to remember playing a game similar to this on the PET at school, so I thought I'd give it a go. Okay, now I will edit out. I've edited out the bit before, which is a 58-second or more, maybe a minute section where it's setting up the game in the background. So here I am, the little dot up, and I'm literally using the cursor, the numeric keypad to move around, explore the map, try not to get killed straight away. Dragon could be quite dangerous. I think a dragon might be bad for my health. Oh, and there's a spider as well. Oh, I'm not so sure. I don't know if there are actually keys to fight these creatures, or whether you're supposed to just run away. There you go. There you go. Got some more hit points. Oh, the dragon's decided not to follow me, which is quite helpful. I'm in another room. G's good. G's gold. So far, I haven't hit any of the problems I had on the other games, which has been stuck in a room. Snake. Ah, okay. I didn't know that, but if you get out of the room, they can't follow you, or certainly that hasn't followed me, nor the dragon. So I guess the idea being is to get the hell out of there if it's a creature you couldn't kill. I probably could have killed the snake, if I'm honest with you. In fact, let's kill the snake, because I'll get some experience points. I think I can kill a snake. I certainly wouldn't be able to kill a dragon yet, anyway. And attack. Oh, I don't know though. That's kind of got near as many hit points as I've got. Okay, hold on. Just hope I can. Okay, yeah, I should better kill it. I've got 25. It's only got 7. Yay! Experience. Oh, quite a lot of experience. Don't actually know if that has any meaning in this game or just a value, but anyway, let's move along. You do get extra hit points for killing creatures normally. Or maybe the experience points, when you reach a point, you get more hit points. Oh, that's not good. That's not good. Because it's got a lot of hit points. Oh, I got it. Oh, blimey, okay. There's me worrying about dying, and I actually managed to get rid of it. Okay, that, by the way, is the wall, the outer wall of the games. My hit points are quite low, so I could do without. Yeah, I don't really want to fight that. It's got twice as many hit points as me, and I don't think I'd survive it. I think once you've got all the gold, you can get out. Oh, what? Oh, that's just mean. That's going to kill me, isn't it? Oh no! Wow. Okay. So there we go. That's Dungeon. It's a bit like, I don't know, Rogue maybe would it be called? Again, this is a very common game on the mainframe computers and stuff like that, because didn't need to have particularly detailed graphics. In fact, if I remember rightly, some of the really early versions of this type of game, Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, actually were text-based, almost like adventures, where you, you typed the move and it described where you were, and you kind of fought the creatures that way. I think this probably is the game I played, actually. Did I play it on the Commodore PET, or was it the Harris H500 at college? So this game is called Eliza, and it may be familiar to people of a certain age that were into computers back in the 70s and 80s, and maybe even the 60s. So let's have a quick go at this now. I'm just going to have type some gumph in and just have some fun. So oh, now I've got to be really careful here because excuse me, some of the keys don't work on my keyboard. So I need to, and that's the first one is the F. I mean, and there's one thing about this game where you can't type in the same thing twice. So if I put yes in it would tell me not to repeat myself. Oops. The camera will cut out in a minute, but I'll just keep typing. So there's no question mark in this. You can't put a question mark at the end of a question. Oh, I want to put a W in there. Oops. And it's a grass cutting simulation. Invisible weeds. Must be my garden. Whoops. It's kind of funny because it kind of reminds me of a Lamasoft game I still have. They used to play on the Atari 8-bit called Hoverbother, I think. And you had to cut your lawn, but you'd either borrowed or possibly nicked your neighbour's lawnmower, so he would come after you. And if you cut the flowers, your other half would come after you, and there was a dog that would chase you and things like that. This is I understand needing obstacles, but when you can't see them, you can't really avoid them. I guess the only challenge is to cut the grass before you run out of time. Sorry, run out of fuel. Well, same thing, I suppose. Which probably means trying not to go backwards and forwards too many times. Let's see how well we can do this. So the idea is not to backtrack. That's not a good start. Nope. Not going to avoid this, am I? That should be safe. Yay! Okay. I guess at the high levels you have a lot less fuel, and yeah. Anyway, that's lawn. Okay, next up is the Mad Bomber. This might be a bit like Air Attack. Oh, let's play easy. Oh, okay. Okay, so that's kind of trying to get as many points as you can with the bombs. So I guess the idea would be to try and get through the ones. Does it take? Yeah. Maximum points. Try not to waste the shots. Quite, again, talk about primitive graphics, but I quite like the plane. I just wasted a bomb there. Ooh, that's a miss. Oh, no, it's not. Okay. Trying to get it on the sides where the big numbers are. Okay. 73. Guess it could be worse. So that was Mad Bomber, or the Mad Bomber. Okay, so here we have Pinball, which is one of the games that I inadvertently missed when I was going through my list. You may have noticed that they're in alphabetical order. There we go, and that's the table. So launch. Yeah, so the flippers are a bit weird because they kind of come up for a second or two and then disappear again. So they're not quite interactive. You're gonna have to type. Oh, I thought I was going to hit it then. You're gonna have to time it quite well to actually catch the ball before it goes through. But never mind. Something else I've noticed is when the ball hits a, oh, it got it, the bumper, so to speak, it turns it on and then turns it off, which I don't remember if that was a feature of Pinball or not. I thought if you hit one, it stayed on, but it's going to make lighting them all up a bit difficult when they turn back off again. Could be wrong. Maybe there's rhyme behind that. Or maybe you don't actually have to light them up. Maybe just get points. Certainly isn't Pinball Fantasies, but you know what? Given it that this is a Commodore PET, and the game was probably written in about 4 kilobytes, or maybe 8, I suppose. That's not bad. And flippers are a pain in the rear end, though. Seems to be a bit of a pattern going on there, doesn't it, with the way the ball moves in certain places. keep doing that. I'm paranoid it's going to go down one of these days. I think it's because it goes down so quickly that I'm paranoid I'm not going to hit it in time, so I kind of keep flipping my flippers. Okay, well, I've got most of the characters in that little area. Go on. Oh, what? After all that? Oh, dear. Well, there we go. That's Pinball. Not bad. Okay, and here we have Rat Run. I've got the keys, which are thankfully the numeric keys. Ah, yes, this is the isometric sort of not sort of 3D maze type of thing. Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Really, I mean, I know it's basic, probably written in basic, but yeah, again, you know, you have to bear in mind the system that it was written on. Trying to remember. I think the numbers go lower the nearest to the exit you get. Problem is, the exit could be the other side of the wall. Or sorry, to get closer to the exit, you might have to go the other side of the wall. But of course, that's a long wall. That's a long corridor. Saying that though, 5, 4, 3, 2. Yeah, you see how close how close I am. But I'm assuming the right vicinity. I'm walking away from it. You can see, so I need to. So this should get me closer again. But in theory, I'm actually further away. Yes, I'm 2.8 rather than 2. So if I don't get a, yeah, you see, I'm going further away from it now. It's quite clever. It doesn't have any dinosaurs jumping out or Tyrannosaurus Rexes jumping out of you, out in front of you like a certain game on the ZX81. Okay, so this is Space Ace, and as you can see by the title, it's the other game by Mike Singleton. I'm just going to start it. I have to be honest with you, I've played this before and I've struggled a little bit with the vector lock option because I press the space bar and it doesn't seem to do anything. But anyway, let's start it. Yes, it is, isn't it? Okay, let's try not to knock the camera over. Okay, now it's a bit hard with my strange position at the moment to be able to use the space bar anyway, so I think I'll just kind of, what I tended to find is you get on the same in the same position as the ship and then just fire at the right time and hopefully take it out. That's the plan anyway. Yeah, there we go, I got that one. So, whoa, a bit of a flashing screen. So what instantly happens is that they start firing back at you as that just happened. I think either the game's crashed or I'm being I got hit so many times that it just crashed. I didn't quite work out the spacebar option, so I'm probably not doing it a credit. Okay, so this is a bonus game that I've found after doing the main video for the Commodore PET gameplay. It caught my eye because the name Super Glooper, it kind of reminded me of a game on the ZX81. I don't think I own it, but I'm aware of it existing, and I think it was released by Quicksilver. I feel it might be a Pac-Man maze type game, but anyway, so I've not got a clue what it's like. I didn't play on the ZX81. I'm only literally playing this just because it sort of caught my eye. So let's load it up and see what we get. It may not even work for all I know. Okay, so we've got a bit of a intro screen going there. Yep, there we go. So 1981. I mean, you know, that would have been a release for the ZX81 around that time as well. So who knows? Maybe Quicksilver grabbed the game and released it on the ZX81 in the UK. But anyway, let's see what it's all about. Hopefully, it doesn't use any keys that I can't actually use. There we go. And yes, it is very much like Pac-Man, isn't it? And thankfully, it looks like it uses the numeric pad, so that's good. Okay, so it's Pac-Man. Interestingly enough, the maze is actually more like the original Pac-Man than Pac-Man 2 that I was playing earlier. Not overly impressed with the fact that the character doesn't actually change as it moves around its angle. Interesting thing is that the actual I'm dead. The ghosts are actually the same as on the Pac-Man 2, aren't they? Just blocks. But okay, it's weird how you play the same game or the same game by different authors on the same machine, and each has its own little sort of quirks and things. The thing that I'm not sure about this is that it seems to be every now and then, it could just be my keyboard of course, that when I go to turn, no, maybe it's just me actually, yes, maybe it's just me, I'm not playing it right, because I was about to say that there seems to be some sort of delay when you turn, but that's just me not turning in the right place. Interesting that it's got an exit at the top and the bottom, which obviously is a different thing, but okay, I think me and the ghost hit the power pill at the same time. Okay, I mean it's not horrendous. It's a bit scary when the can't quite control it quick enough when the ghosts are on your tail, but I can't. Oh, there you go, and I'm dead. So okay, well obviously I didn't do very well on that game, but it's not a bad game. I mean, it looks pretty cool. Not quite as smooth as Pac-Man 2, if I'm honest with you, but yeah. So I'm going to give it one more go because maybe it was just me not really. I might not be doing it. I might be doing it to service by because I think sometimes I'm turning. Yeah, I think sometimes I'm turning too soon. You know, so can't blame the game for that. That's just me. Oh, yeah. I'm nobody to blame but myself. I think it's because on Pac-Man I'm ready to move ahead of the actual junction, and what happens on here is when you move, as you probably can see with me, it actually stops, and that's kind of off-putting because like if you've got a ghost on your tail and you stop, then it's yeah, it's not ideal, is it? There you go. At least I got one on that time. But that's just me, you know, playing the game in the wrong way, I suppose. Oh god, I can't get down there. Yeah, I don't know. It spoils it a bit for me because it doesn't make it quite as smooth as it could be. It takes my brain is saying get ready to turn, and when I turn, it's too late. Ooh, I'm not going to get in there, am I? I'm thinking slightly better than I did the first time, but not a lot. Yeah, that's just off. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that, to be honest with you. This is a little bit like the problem I had with the original Pac-Man on here, where the turning was a bit iffy, and it does seem to stop every now and then. So whether that's because it's refreshing, I'm not too sure. But yeah, that's not really very good, is it? I'm not gonna. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Oh, have we got another go? Is that it? Game over, or have we got another go? No, it's game over. Yeah, okay, so that's, you know, looks good. Maybe doesn't play as well as the other one, but we have to try these things, don't we? So that was Super Glooper. Well, that concludes the gameplay video from my second part of Commodore PET games. I hope you've enjoyed watching the various games. This was our second part, so this is the what I call the best of the rest. So this is popular games released both on the Cursor magazine cassettes and from dedicated companies. It's been a real eye-opener seeing the qualities of some of these games, and you know, seeing some of the games like Mike Singleton and Llama Soft and that come up on here as people that that started their sort of games development really on the Commodore PET before moving on to machines like the VIC-20, the Atari, the Commodore 64 and other platforms. But it has been a really good, really fun playing these games on this machine. I mean, the very first time I saw a Commodore PET was in 1982, and to be honest with you, it was the first computer I ever saw as a school kid. It wasn't really a machine I spent a lot of time on initially, and it definitely wasn't seen as a viable games platform back in the day. I was playing arcade games, and I had my Vault-Mace database console at home playing Space Invader, so I was happy with that. But it wasn't until I moved to Cossey back in a couple of years later in '83 that I really got to use the Commodore PET a lot at school. Again, there wasn't that many games on there. For games, we tended to pop next door to the maths room and play on the BBC Micro they had there. But you know, it's good to see these games, and you've got to bear in mind that the Commodore PET wasn't really a games machine. I mean, back in the day that it was released, sort of 1976, 1977, home computers were literally at the very beginning. You had the Tandy TRS-80, the Apple II, and the Atari 800. And I mean, the Apple II and the Commodore PET weren't really seen as maybe games computers, or really even maybe home computers, maybe the Apple II, but the Commodore PET wasn't really released as a home computer in the same way that the microcomputers of the 80s were used. It was a business machine. I mean, in fact, CBM stands for Commodore Business Machine. I guess somebody, whether it was Chuck Peddle or somebody in Commodore, must have thought a little bit about games, because you did have the character graphics on the keys that allowed you to use some rudimentary characters. And I mean, you saw some of them in the games, and you know, some of them were quite clever, really. I mean, the way they built the characters together to make objects, I thought was pretty cool at times. So somebody had an idea for some basic games, I guess, on the Commodore PET, but it didn't really have the hardware to run games. And I think that what they've done with like the machine code games are pretty impressive. Maybe not so much on this video, because these are some of the more basic stuff. But on the first video, definitely you could see arcade games were really being pushed, the amount of objects on the screen and stuff. So I think if you put this all into context of the machine's capabilities and when it was available and what else was available at the time, it's been a great journey being able to explore these games and get a lot of fun out of them. And also finding out that people like the late Mike Singleton and Jeff Minter from Llama Soft, the Commodore PET was the machine that they started games development on. Both of those moved on to design games for other machines. Mike went on to onto the Spectrum with Lords of Midnight and Doom Dark Revenge, and then later on onto the 16-bits with the Midwinter series. Jeff Minter, still designs games now, and he's been all over the place. Moved on to the VIC-20, Atari, Commodore 64. Then he went on to he did the Jaguar games and various DVD players and stuff like that, and even on the PC and the iPad. So to see where these guys first started their sort of games career is quite interesting. But anyway, I'm waffling on now. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you've got some enjoyment out of it, and maybe some of my little pearls of wisdom along the way have been interesting. Like I say, there is going to be a third video recorded, and that'll be the homebrew video. I haven't got quite so many games for that because there are homebrew games on the machine, and that in itself is quite impressive, but there's not the selection you might have on some of the more popular computers like the Spectrum, Commodore and Ataris. But anyway, that's going to be released in a couple of weeks' time, so catch that if you want to see what games development looks like on the Commodore PET in the sort of 2000s, and even one of them was actually released this year, which is 2020. So we're Norwich Retro Gamers. We have a website, retrogamers.org. There's quite a few articles on there, and magazines and links and other stuff like that, so check that out. That's also got a feedback page if you want to get in contact with us. Our main area is Facebook, Norwich Retro Gamers on Facebook, and again, there's articles, pictures and stuff put up on there, so by all means like that, and get involved. And if you like my videos, then by all means subscribe, and get more, you'll be able to get the more videos as they come out. We're also on Twitter as Norwich Retro, so check us out if you like. Hope you've enjoyed it. Leave feedback if if there's anything you liked or disliked, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.